What's going on YouTube? It's your boy BallSG here, coming back at you with another Splitgate 2 YouTube video. Today I'm going to be going over what I think are the top 10 tips and tricks that I can give to both new and current players for Splitgate 2 who are just trying to learn the game, get better at the game, etc. Let's get right into it. Starting off with my first tip and trick that I wanted to give is simply stop being scared to learn portals. Now what I mean by this is there's been so many like tweets and people that have come to my stream or commented on YouTube videos and stuff like that saying that they love the game, they love how fast paced it is, they really like it, they want to keep playing it, but they are really discouraged by how hard and like scary quote unquote it is to like actually try to learn the portal mechanics of the game. Coming from me, a person who is professional in Splitgate 1 and has played a lot of Splitgate 2, so many hours, really, genuinely, the portal mechanics are not that difficult to learn. If you really put your time, a little bit of time into it, it's really not that hard to like get good at, get used to. Basically, it's just like right now I'm using the alternating portal. If you look in the bottom right, my only button is right bumper. All it is alternating right bumper, stepping through the portals one at a time, pressing one button, RB, RB, step through, RB, step through, RB, step through, RB, etc. It's really not that hard to learn. You can do this on all the maps. It really is not that hard. So please, if you are discouraged by people who are super fast at portaling or seem to be just really good at portaling, you don't think that you can do it yourself, really give it a chance and actually look into it, because I promise you it is a lot easier than you would expect. Now getting into my second tip, basically all it is learn maps in custom games. When people come to my stream and tell me how ask how I know portals so well, how I'm so good at portaling, I always tell them it mainly comes down to simply map knowledge. Like I said in the first tip, the mechanic itself really isn't that difficult. It really just comes down to map knowledge and understanding where you're going with each portal. Basically having a plan of action when you're using a portal. Like if I'm portaling here, I'm portaling here. You can just go through portals one by one. You should look around. You see all these walls. I can go there, I can go there, I can go there, I can go there, there. And then you pick what you want to go to. Say I want to go here, and you go through this one. You see, I can go to this momentum portal way over there. I can take this portal here and go to this one. Now let's go to this one. See? You can just go through here, be slow, and just see basically what portals you can go to from a portal that you're already taking, to where then it just becomes ingrained in your brain and becomes muscle memory. The point, say like I'm going down here, I know there's a portal here just because I played the maps, I played the game a lot. I know there's gonna be another portal here when I'm going through this one right here. So in my brain, I'm already imagining where I'm going next with my first portal. So then I turn it into a chain. I know there's one here, here, etc. And then you can just chain these portals non-stop to the point where it just becomes ingrained in your brain, and it just becomes so much easier. So you can do this with every map in the game. I did this when the game first came out. It just looks a lot cleaner now because I've been doing it for so long. But genuinely, if you are just confused about portaling, you're not like comfortable on maps, I highly recommend going into custom games and doing what I'm doing here, just slowly going around, learning where you can chain portals and learn portal routes and stuff like that, find some cool angles, etc. Getting into tip number 3. Now this one is going to be start closing your portals when traversing. Basically what I mean is you take a portal, and then for me on controller it's down on the D-pad, and since I'm only using the one portal bind, it closes both portals. If you're using 2 portal binds, you can bind it manually to where you can close one specific portal at a time. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you had noticed when you're portaling around the map and there's people shooting at you, typically when you're portaling around, if they like say I'm in this portal, somebody's right here shooting at this portal that I'm standing in currently, I portaled it here and I'm here, they just keep shooting at this portal right here, and then they just fry you, you're dead instantly. But say I'm over here, they're right here, they're shooting me, I take this portal here, I immediately go through and close my portal right away. It stops their ability to be able to keep shooting me here, and then I can take the gunfight here instead of them being able to keep shooting me through this portal here and just doing infinite damage. They're absolutely free, and basically I have no counterplay to it. So that is another one right there for you. Getting into tip number 4, this one is going to be use guns based off of what map and modes you are playing. So what I mean is, say you're playing a map like Eden, right? In my opinion, this map has more longer range gunfights than it does closer range gunfights. So on a map like this, I would not recommend using SMGs like the Phasma, like the Rattler, and the Arrows one, which is a Sprinter. I do not recommend on a map like this to use these SMGs. You can still use them and make them somewhat effective if you are good at the game, but on a map like this with its long line of sights, I highly recommend using guns like the Quantum, the battle rifles on the characters, and also like the Pulse on Arrows is also good on this map. The Jackhammer, not that great just overall as a gun, but like the Warden on this map is also very good. ARs in this map, in my opinion, better than SMGs. I still don't really recommend them over the burst rifles. I think the burst rifles really dominate a map like this. But say even a map like Grit, that's really small, mixy, stuff like that, you want to use SMGs, you want to use Rattlers, Phasmas, Sprinters, everything like that. It's a lot of close range engagements. So basically keeping that stuff in mind when you're spawning into specific maps, it really helps out based off what gun you're using. It'll really help your performance if you start using guns based off what map you are playing. Now getting into tip number 5, this one is going to be start abusing momentum as much as possible. Momentum is king in this game, whether it comes to momentum punching or just base movement speed, whatever it is that you're trying to do. It is so good in this game with the sliding mechanics and such. As you can see on Eden, this is probably one of the better maps for momentum. There's these momentum portals on the side here that just immediately make you fly, and there's a lot of like really long ramps you can take for slides and stuff like that. But there's stuff like this you can find on every map, just staircases like this. You can just straight up get a lot of momentum, things like that. So basically you can use it on every single map in the game. But I can show a quick example here. I switched to Arrows for this example because Arrows is like a momentum character. It's a really movement based character. I'm using the slide perk here, and you can just see what I can do off of that one little portal. I haven't used a portal whatsoever. This is really easy. I'm just sliding around, jumping around, stuff like that. Really, it's not that hard whatsoever. And even like a slight momentum like this, say like the hill is right here, say I'm right here, the hot zone is right here, you can slide down these stairs right here, punch someone right here, and they very well might hit them for 100 damage. And momentum punching is that good. So yeah, things like this with just base movement and stuff like that, whether you're trying to punch, whether you're trying to traverse the map, try to abuse momentum as much as possible. This game's movement is peak, and you can abuse it to the absolute fullest if you really get good at it. So I highly recommend you guys start doing that. Getting into tip number 6, it's going to be start researching class loadouts more like effectively. I do have a YouTube video posted of all of my favorite loadouts that I use currently in ranked and in the game in general. So if you guys do want to peep that, I do have that uploaded as well. But this, in my opinion, is just super important by looking at either other good players who play the game like myself, or just straight up making builds yourself based off of like stats of a certain attachments and stuff like that, and just based off how you want to play. I think really diving deep into your class setups is very important, and not many people really care too much about what they're using on their guns and stuff, but it really does make a difference in this game. Say like on the tempo, using grip laser. When you're not using grip laser, this thing's like bullet spread is absurd. The recoil is a good bit, but you're using grip laser, the bullet spread's super tiny, the recoil is basically non-existent. It just makes the gun, in my opinion, the best version of itself. So things like that, just with every gun in the game, no matter what character, no matter what gun, no matter what class, really look into the actual stats of the attachments, the differences that they make in your gameplay, and actually pay more attention to it, because the attachments in this game really do matter. Same with the perks and everything like that. You can cater them based off of your play style. I say like on Sabras, you're using a shotgun, you want to do more punch damage, so you use heavy punch, or you want to use melee mend because you heal off your punch, stuff like that. So basically paying attention to the actual perks and the attachments and stuff, and basically catering them to how you want to play the game, or just off of how well it is making you play. Getting into tip and trick number 7, which is going to be paying attention to where your teammates are on the map. Now what I mean by this is, say the hot zone right here, right on Eden, say you're playing hot zone on Eden, the hill is right here. When this hill is popped, I see a lot of people get really confused about where the other team is spawning, where they're going to be coming from, etc. And that's because they simply are not paying attention to what is going on with their team. Say you're on the hill right here, right? I'm on the hill, I'm looking around, I'm confused, I don't know if they're coming window, they're pushing me mid elbow, whatever, I don't know what side they're coming from. Say I have a teammate that is back there, back purple, purple window, whatever. I have a teammate top heaven, and I have a teammate towards like the bottom of the map, or like either on hill with me or just next to me towards like bottom purple, whatever it is. If I am on the hill and I see my teammates over on this side of the map holding the purple side of the map, immediately in my brain I'm looking towards orange. The enemies are going to be spawning orange side, they're going to be coming from orange side. Usually the first contact's going to be from orange window, or somebody's going to be coming from the orange side of mid elbow, or like running out this front door, etc. You can use this logic on basically every single map in the game. You can really predict the spawns and where people are going to come from if you just pay attention to where your teammates are. Even if you don't have communication, just playing ranked in general, just looking where your teammates are at on the map will really help you be more aware of your surroundings and where people are going to be coming from. Getting into tip number 8, this is going to be not using your abilities and ultimates selfishly. Mainly, in my opinion, this mainly applies to Sabras, because Sabras is probably the most important ability in the game with the shield. It's just like the best to use for breaking hills and you know, defusing, planting firecrackers and things like that. So mainly I'm going to be talking about a Sabras, but it applies to every character in the game. Trying to basically pay attention to where your teammates are, like I said in the last tip, using your ability around your teammates and not just for yourself makes the ability 10 times more effective, especially with the shield. Say again, the hill is right here in the middle of the map on Eden, and I have my shield up. If I have teammates that are like above me here, pushing heaven, etc., or even coming with me on this portal wall here, ready to chow, we're trying to break this hill. If I have teammates alive and I push this hill and I place my shield, everyone here is going to die. But if I do this by myself, and say there's 2 people on the hill and my teammates are dead coming off a spawn, there's people above me and whatever, if I use this shield, it's getting fried and I'm dying instantly. I maybe might get one, but then even if I do that, my shield's gone for like another 40 seconds. So basically the rest of that hill, I will not have a shield. So basically trying to make the most of your abilities and your ultimate based off of what your teammates are doing in the map, trying to coordinate something together will really help you be able to break more hills in hot zone, defuse more bombs and firecracker, break more spawns and split ball, things like that. So basically just paying attention to your teammates, how many teammates are dead, how many are alive, are they ready to push with you, things like that will really help out when it comes to your ability usage. Getting into tip number 9, that is going to be paying attention to powers and just power timers in general. I cannot tell you how many times in ranked, in pubs, when the game first came out, everything like that, no matter what game mode, that people just simply ignore the power weapons when they are literally designed to be the best and most important weapons in the entire game. Some of these weapons change the outcome of entire rounds, entire maps, etc. The amount of times I see these things left or just ignored or never played for is absolutely absurd to me. I promise you, if you find yourself not paying attention to powers, not really picking up powers much, not being able to use them, if you start paying attention to these, I promise you the things that you are able to do with some of these weapons, especially like rockets. If somebody's on the hill here, I shoot this rocket, boom, every single person on the hill is dead just like that. I press one button, deadbolt down there. If you're really good at sniping, you can take out entire teams with it just by hitting headshots. Another power weapon, the gravitas, in my opinion, the most broken power weapon in the game. If you get a gravitas, you can kill 8 people without breaking a sweat. Play for the power weapons, pay attention to the timers when they're coming up, set up early for them, and they are really, really important. And last but not least, getting into tip number 10, in my opinion, one of the most important tips, especially when it comes to things like ranked, is not staggering when your team is staggered. Basically what I mean by staggering is, say the hill right here is right here, the hot zone's right here in this on this orange pillar here. The opposite team is set up perfectly for it. They have people on the hill, they have people in the back, they have a really good setup, and your team's on this side of the map and you're trying to push and go break it. Say you just saw 2 of your teammates push in and die. 2 of your teammates are dead. You guys are you are now in a 2v4. You and one other teammate, and you don't have any kills on the map. All 4 of them are still alive. They're on the hill. They're set up in the back. The worst thing you can possibly do in that 2v4 is for me to really quickly just go in here, try to chow by myself, die instantly. What am I going to do against 4v? It's not going to go well. I'm going to die, and my death timer is going to be staggered from my other teammates who are coming off spawn. But instead, in that situation, 2 of my teammates die. Me and my other teammate that are alive, we sit here and we wait. We try to look for angles to maybe get a pick, see if one of them scams. Or we just try to sit here and play our lives, wait for our teammates to come up off of spawn, and then coordinate a push together when all 4 of us are up. Breaking something that when all 4 of your teammates are alive is 10 times easier than trying to do it by yourself. Trust me, I know it sounds stupid, but the concept of not staggering your team is just it's insane how many times I see people in rank just go in by themselves and try to make hero plays, when the better play 99% of the time is just simply stay alive, do nothing, wait for your teammates to spawn, on and then push. Yeah guys, that's gonna do it for me for my top 10 tips and tricks videos for Splitgate 2. Again, I didn't really go super in depth with a lot of this stuff, but I promise all of these concepts can be used in every aspect of the game, any map, any mode, any character that you're using, any class that you're using, whatever it is, you can use all of these 10 tips and tricks in every game that you play. And I promise you use these things, you implement them in your game, you will improve, you will get better. I know this game skill gap seems scary to a lot of people don't really want to learn, but I hope this video helped you guys understand that this game really isn't that hard to understand, and anyone, including yourself, can get good at the game if you really put the time and effort in. The game is really fun. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys implement these into your game, and I hope you improve. I hope they help out. If you guys want to see any other content like this from me in the future, please let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any suggestions that you want to leave as well, that would be much appreciated. Always looking to make more content for Splitgate 2 and other games as well, so just please let me know. In the description below, I will have my social links, my Twitter, my Twitch, everything like that as well if you want to check me out live. I'm pretty much live every single day. But until next time, that's going to do it from me. Bala out.